Alright, let's talk about handling. So handling is when you have your leopard gecko in your hand. So there's like a few ways you can start training handling. You can, like, when you first get them, if they're like not handleable at all, you can put your hand in the tank and then just like hold it there just for it to get used to your hand. And then eventually you can start picking it up with your hand. And then once it lets you pick it up inside the tank, you can start taking it out of the tank. But once you've taken it out of the tank, make sure to do it over a bed, a couch, or something that if it jumps off, it doesn't have very far to fall, because you don't want that. Another tip for handling is if your leopard gecko has a problem with like biting you, which isn't very common but can sometimes happen. If you don't handle him right after he just got fed, or right before he normally eats, or she, or it helps because they're less in the biting mood and it's less likely they'll mistake you for like a meal or something. And once you've started actually being able to handle, you can start having it walk across your hands. Like right now he's being real lazy and not really walking, but when they first start, they're gonna want to walk everywhere because they're just trying to like escape a little bit. But if you have your hands like this, it can't go anywhere except for your hands, so it'll kind of just treadmill across your hands, except when you have the laziest leopard gecko in the world and he doesn't like to do anything. When you're handling, make sure that all of its feet are on your hands or your shoulder or whatever it's on, just so that it feels stable. If it doesn't feel stable, it will try to run away, and that could be a problem. So always make sure that all of its claws and feet are like securely on your hand. And a lot of times its tail will stick off. Don't mess with its tail too much, but if you accidentally grab it like this or something when like you're handling, it's not going to drop off, because usually it never wants to drop its tail because it stores all its fat in its tail and it needs that to stay healthy. So if you accidentally grab onto its tail, it won't be the end of the world, but try to be careful. And once you've gotten past having to watch it all the time, you can set it on your shoulder and you can let it crawl around. Once you've had it for like a long time and handled it like many times and it's super comfortable with you, it'll just stay on your shoulder for a long time. And you can just walk around, you can do your school, you can do like anything you really want, and it'll just stay on your shoulder, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So when it's on your shoulder, just be mindful of that. Don't like go jumping because it might get launched off. You don't want to do that. Try not to like slam into anything. I mean, try not to do that anyways so you don't hurt yourself, but especially when you have a leopard gecko, a snake, like any lizard or basically anything on your shoulder, you don't want to hurt it. So just be careful, like not to bump into any door frames or anything. Sometimes it'll go on your back. So if it ever like goes down your back and you're like having trouble, a lot of times if you just put your hands on your back, I'm not really sure if you can see that, but if you put your hands, it'll crawl onto your hands and you can kind of maneuver it onto your hands and then pull it out. So that's one thing you can do, and then just get them back into a place where it won't be a problem. Alright, that was a quick video on handling. If you like these kinds of videos, you make sure to subscribe. Watch this video right here where I talk about 5 reasons you want to get a leopard gecko and how awesome they are, and I'll see you next time.